All right, hey guys, this is number four video, putting it all together, doing your first deal as quickly as possible. And I'm going to talk about some basic success principles that I think are really critical for you and your business that you need to pay attention to, okay? Number one, you've got to keep it simple. This business, it's so easy to complicate it, isn't it? We overthink things. We always ask these what if questions, like what if this happens, what if that happens, and we feel like, and I get it, we feel like we have to have all of our I's dotted and T's crossed, and we need to have all of our what if questions answered. But the problem with that is having all those questions answered does not help you make money. What helps you make money is taking massive action, right? Keeping it simple. So I talk a lot about in my course and my coaching, simple systems scale. If you want to scale, do a lot of deals, you need systems, right? But you can't create systems unless you have something simple, right? So throughout this whole process, as you're trying to do your first deal, just remember this. If it's complicated, then you're doing something wrong, okay? Or you're listening to the wrong teacher, or you need to step back and say, well, what am I doing wrong? This should be a lot simpler than that. So important principle number one, keep it simple, right? Second principle that I think is really important is model what works. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. I remember when I was first getting started in this business, I was buying as many different courses as I could, and I was trying to model what works, but I was modeling from 5 other people, and I was trying to combine everything that they were doing into one. Like I thought, well, this guy's really good at this, and this guy's good at that, and that lady's good at that, and so I bought those stuff, and I tried to mesh it all together and make it my own. Or, if somebody's taught something, I thought, well, if he's doing it, then a lot of other people are doing it, so I can't do it because I'll just be like everybody else, so I'm going to change it a little bit and tweak it and make it better, quote unquote. Well, that's what they say, pioneers are the ones that have the all the arrows in their back, right? It's not, you don't necessarily want to be a pioneer, especially if you're just getting started in this business, right? The pioneers have already gone out there ahead of you. They already shown you what works. And that's what I've done. I've shown you what works. I know what doesn't work. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm not a know-it-all, but I've done a lot of deals, right? And I've coached a lot of students that have done a lot more deals than I have. So model what works. Stop complicating it. Keep it simple and just model what works. Related to that is the third success principle, right? Take it seriously, for heaven's sake. Like one of my coaches told me when I was first getting started, he calls it the 2 commandments to be successful in business. And I'm going to use the cleaned up language. He says, stop farting around and stop being a sissy. All right. Stop farting around. It's like, you know what you need to do? Just go do it. Well, you think I got to have this. I got to know that. I got to do just do it. Like if somebody were to take a gun to your head and say, all right, you either do this thing, like send out that letter, I'm going to shoot you and kill you. What would you do? Like, I would figure out how to write the letter, or I'd find somebody on Fiverr.com to write the letter for me. I'd find a neighbor. I would just send out the stupid letter, right? I would get it done. So stop farting around and just do what you're supposed to do. Okay. And the second part of that is stop being a sissy. We're so worried about spending money on marketing, yet we'll go out and spend $1,000 or $5,000 for coaching, $1,000 for a course, or buy a bunch of courses that, like a bunch of books and all, go to boot camps and go spend thousands of dollars to go hang out at a boot camp for 3 days. But we're too afraid to send out any marketing. We're too afraid to talk to sellers. Like, come on. We get this crack cocaine high when we buy this course thinking, oh man, this will make me rich. This is the magic bullet, right? So we're just stop farting around, okay? And that's a cleaned up language. So, take it seriously. This is not a hobby. This is a business. If you want to be successful in this business, right, you got to keep it simple, model what works, and take it seriously for once, okay? And it won't, until you do take it seriously. And I remember, again, for me, I said, all right, I'm just going to buy this guy's course. I'm going to buy one more course, and I did. And it was a wholesaling course, and I said, I'm just going to take it seriously. I'm going to do what this guy says to do, and even though I don't like it, I'm not going to change anything. I don't like his postcards. I don't like their offer. I don't like his contract, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just going to do what they say to do, doggone it, and I'm not going to change anything. And guess what? When I did that, when I stopped questioning it and started doing it, I started getting results. I started doing deals. I remember my first deal, I made 12 grand on a deal, and I thought, oh my gosh, this stuff works. I'd been studying it for like 3 or 4 years. Never really took any massive focused action. And then when I did, it started working. So until you take it seriously, all right, then you're not going to have any success. This is really important to understand this stuff. I hope you get it. I want to talk about progress, not perfection. So many of us think that we have to get it all exactly lined up in rows, our ducks in a rows. We have to have all of our questions answered. And you'll never get there, okay? If you're afraid of making mistakes, you got to get over that because you're going to make mistakes. If you want to do deals and you want to make money in this business, you're going to make mistakes. So what's more important than perfection, because you'll never get there, is progress. Forward moving progress. You know, like they say, fail forward fast, right? So don't be afraid to fail. It's okay. You're never going to be perfect. No two deals are ever alike. Every deal is always different, right? So you're never going to have it all perfect, all figured out. And you may listen to a lot of podcasts and you hear these courses and, you know, they feel like when you're listening to them, you feel like, oh, they got it all together and they never make any mistakes. Well, no, it's not about that. It's about progress. It's about forward moving progress, right? You can't park or you can't steer a parked car, right? So always be moving forward, and this relates to the next one, you know, massive imperfect action daily. That's going to be the key to your success, right? Keeping it simple, but taking massive action daily, every day, okay? Even if it's just 1 or 2 phone calls. Like if you're tired, just send out 1 or 2 letters. Just send out, make a couple more phone calls. Follow up with a couple more old leads, right? But just take that that's a massive action from somebody who's never done a deal before, who's scared to talk to sellers. Just make 1 call, 1 phone call to a seller. That's massive action right there, right? And the next day, make 2 calls. And the next day, maybe make an offer. So always daily. Never let a day go by without taking some massive action. And guess what? It's okay if it's imperfect. It's okay if you make a mistake. And that's one of the coolest things about having a coach is that the coach is going to say, listen, okay, you made a mistake. That's okay. We'll fix it. Not a big deal. We'll fix it. We can amend the contract, or we can cancel the contract, or we can, the coach can help you fix any mistakes that you might make. So a coach is going to hold you by the hand and say, it's all right, but let's move forward. One of the biggest things that I do with my students is I hold them accountable to a scorecard. Now you need to know if you want, marketing is everything and everything is marketing in this business. That should be a principle up here, right? We're in the marketing business. We're not in the real estate business. So I give my students a scorecard and I say, all right, you want to make $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $100,000 a month. You need to do marketing, right? And you need to do a lot of it consistently every day, right? So let's put that in a scorecard. And I'm going to my job as a coach is to hold your feet to the fire, and you got to report on your numbers every day. How many postcards you send, how many letters you send, how many offers you make, et cetera, right? And so that's moving forward. And you find at first it's really hard. It's hard to get that ball going, but once it goes and the momentum starts to build, you're consistent with the marketing, the momentum starts growing and growing, that's where the magic happens, right? So massive action, even though it's imperfect, every day. And related to that is what I like to talk about is stop asking what if, like, what if this happens? What if that happens? A lot of us are afraid of success, right? We're afraid of like, well, what if the seller says yes? Or what if the seller says no? Or what if I make a mistake? Or what if this happens? I just did a group coaching call today, and this is a place where, students can ask me questions, and it's where they can ask a bunch of what if questions, but it's only like 1 hour a week, right? You only get 1 hour a week where you get to ask what if questions, all right? Beyond that, it needs to be what's next, Joe? What's the next thing I got to do? Well, okay, send out the letters. Okay, did that. What's next? All right, make the offers. Okay, great, I did that. What's next? Follow up. Okay, I did that. What's next? Do you see the difference? So not being afraid of making mistakes, but always be pushing ahead forward, failing forward fast. All right, stop asking what if, start asking what's next. And then related to that again is stop asking how and start asking who. I know, a lot of times we get hung up on trying to think like we have to do it all. How do I do the websites? How do I do the Podio stuff or the CRM? How do I do the talking to sellers, right? Or doing the direct mail? I just answered a question a little bit ago about what kind of paper should I get for my letters? And should I do trifold or fourfold or Stop asking how, just who. Like, you got to get a printing company to do those letters for you. That's a $5 an hour activity job. You need to be doing the $500 hour activity jobs, right? So my encouragement to you is step away from the computer, step away from the details. The highest and best use of your time is talking to sellers and making offers, right? So those little details with the websites and the business cards and the entering all that data into Podio or your CRM or whatever you're using, that's a who. Like, you don't need to worry about how to do that. You got to get somebody to do it for you, right? You got to get somebody to set that stuff up for you. All right. So those are really important success principles that I found in my own business and coaching a lot of people. This is where you need to keep this stuff in the front of your head. All right. The other thing I want to talk about is you need the right tools and the right systems. I talk about this a lot. We're in the marketing business, but there's 3 keys to success in this business. It's marketing, automation, and delegation, right? Marketing, automation, and delegation. So marketing is the cornerstone, is the foundation of everything. But after that is systems. We need to have systems, right? Everything that you can, you need to put them into a system so it gets done automatically. And what you can't systemize, you delegate, all right? So thinking of the systems in place, marketing, automation, delegation, this is important. You need a simple marketing plan. This is something I walk through in all my courses and with my coaching students, where you get leads coming in without your involvement. This is marketing done for you in spite of you, right? Your goal should be to talk to 5 sellers a day, right? Just 5 sellers a day. Each call takes 3 to 5 minutes, right? And then from that, you make about 3 offers a day, at least at a minimum, right? Just make 3 offers a day. It takes 3 to 5 minutes to talk to a seller, maybe a couple minutes to make an offer, just send it. Eventually you get to a point where maybe this offers you can get a VA to do it for you, right? So this shouldn't be overwhelming. With the right systems in place, right, you get this marketing done for you in spite of you. So all you have to worry about is talking to sellers, right? Don't worry about the marketing. It's getting done for you. It's just happening. You're worried about just talking to sellers and making offers. And eventually you get to a place where you don't even have to make an offer yourself. You just shoot a voice memo over to your virtual assistant, and your virtual assistant sends the offer for you, okay? Now remember, when you start doing this business, you don't have to go see the house, all right? You can do this virtually in any market in the United States. Some people get hung up thinking, well, I got to go see the house and all that. You don't. You can do this business anywhere in the country, all right? All right, so the automation, these are some of the systems that you need to have. Obviously, database, your CRM, I don't know what CRM stands for, customer relationship management or something like that. But you've got to track your leads, and I recommend either Podio or FreedomSoft. If you don't want to do that, you want to kind of do something that's a lot cheaper, that still works really well, check out Trello or Evernote. The reason why this is so important is no lead left behind. You need to operate under this philosophy that no lead falls through the cracks. No lead gets left behind. You make an offer to every single lead that comes in. And when you have systems in place, that's easy to do. And that's one of the things we help our clients with is building those systems, doing that marketing. So you just talk to a seller, you can send a voice memo to our VA, update the lead in Podio, or just, you could task our VA in Podio to send the offer, or you can send a voice memo to our VA who can update the lead and send the offer for you. But every lead gets an offer, and every lead gets followed up with, okay? So you can't do that unless you have a good CRM. We recommend Podio or FreedomSoft. FreedomSoft is probably the best, but it's a little bit more expensive because it's just right out of the box. It's the best thing out there, okay? You also need websites, especially if you're doing lease options. It's more important doing lease options that you have websites because you need more credibility. They're going to look you up. Maybe they've never heard of a lease option before, and so they're going to have some questions. They might look you up in the Better Business Bureau, and that's one of the things I recommend you sign up for. It's extortion. I know, I get it. You have to pay to play. To be accredited and to get the A ratings, you got to pay. I just sent my $450 the other day, the Better Business Bureau. But you need that credibility. That's important, right? You can put the BBB logo on your website. Also, maybe consider joining the Chamber of Commerce, So having that stuff on your website is real important, to have a website for sellers and tenant buyers. And that's something that we set up our clients with, and there's tools I talk about that in the course. But having a website is really important, especially if you are doing lease options. And one of the things I'll tell you too, that you don't have to build these websites yourself. You can go out and find a website that you like and hire somebody on Upwork to build that website for you, okay? Now, you also need a direct mail house. This is really important that you just set it and forget it. Like I was talking about before, getting people to do that marketing for you. You need a direct mail house that will send the handwritten personalized letters, the handwritten postcards that just gets out. You don't even have to think about it. Just every single week it gets done, right? And this direct mail house that should be able to get the list for you. And by the way, yes, we do that. We get lists for our clients. We just pass on, we don't mark them up at all. We pass on the savings because we do so much mail. We get such good deals on our lists and our direct mail. We pass on the savings to our students. And we can do this for you if you want. We can get the list for you. We can send the letters and postcards for you. And you just don't have to worry about it. Phone systems. Phone systems are really important for automation. We recommend you need to get local virtual phone numbers so that when sellers, even though you may be out of the country, you may be on a beach in Spain, you can do deals with local virtual phone numbers and the seller will never even know that you're halfway around the world. So you need local virtual phone numbers that can do voicemail and texting, and we have the systems in place to do that. But that's something that you really need to think about. And a great service for this, by the way, I think I've already talked about it, is Vumber.com. FreedomSoft also helps with that, and we also set this up for clients as well. The cool thing about Vumber and services like this is your VAs can also now send texting for you through these services, okay, and make phone calls. Marketing automation, delegation. When it comes to the paperwork on these lease option deals, we have an attorney that actually handles all of our paperwork for our students, and even I use him as well. So he does the paperwork with the investor, with the tenant buyer, with the seller. It's good just to have that credibility again, where you have when you're talking to the seller or you're talking to the tenant buyer, you can say to them like this: "My attorney can handle the paperwork here. He'll send you an email, ask you for this stuff. You just send the check to him, etc." So that's important to have an attorney. If you want to use ours, that's awesome, or you can find your own local attorney. But you need to have somebody that understands lease options, wholesaling lease options, lease option assignments, okay? It's also important you have an escrow company that handles the option deposits. You can't have the tenant buyer make that check out to an investor. You need to have an escrow company that handles that. And also an escrow company that collects the rent so that you know the mortgage is getting paid. And the escrow company should also check to make sure that the title is clear. So you shouldn't be doing this yourself, right? You should be delegating this out, delegating the paperwork to an attorney, delegating the money part to an escrow company. And the cost for this is pennies compared to the profit that you're making on these deals, okay? Obviously, a virtual assistant, get all this stuff, manage it for you. The VA, these are the four main things a virtual assistant should do for you, right? They should do your marketing, they should update your CRM, they should send your offers, and they should do all your follow-up. And we have VAs that do this for our students right now. We'll do the marketing, we'll update your CRM with just voice memos, we'll send out the offers for you, we'll do the follow-up. And we just charge you at cost for that. So to update the CRM, it's real simple. Like I said before, you send voice memos to the VA to update it. And then the VA, depending on how you set this up, we have the VAs that can do this. Depending on how we structure it, we may just give you your own VA, or you can use one of our VAs. We'll just figure that out on the phone when we talk if you want to work with us. But you should have what your VA is just sending you like the next one or two things that you need to do next, okay? And so you shouldn't be worried about. In fact, what I recommend is just get a separate email address that only your VA has. So your VA, first thing in the morning, is working your hours, goes into your CRM and finds the next two sellers that you have to call or whatever, and sends you two emails with all the information you need inside of each email, okay? You call the seller, chicken scratch your notes, and then voice memo back to the VA what needs to happen next. You know, schedule an appointment, send me some comps, send them an offer, remind me in a month to follow up with them, et cetera, et cetera. Does that make sense? Good. The VA should also be sending your offers and doing all your follow-up for you. Now, the follow-up, we talked about that before. That should be happening every month to every single one of your old leads. And that is so important. Follow-up is really important because half of your deals are going to come from the follow-up. So if you think you're going to do it, you're sorely mistaken, okay? If you think you're going to do it, you're not. You've got to get that done for you in spite of you, okay? That's the power of virtual assistants. Now, a leasing agent is real important. We talked about that before. Having a realtor that can do all that work for you of selling the house, taking the calls, showing the homes, that's real important. You get a leasing agent to do that for you. The final thing I'll say on the delegation part of this, and this kind of goes into marketing, but I put it down here because you need to get someone else to do this. If you start spending time trying to figure out Facebook ads, I'm going to come over across the screen here and I'm going to slap you across the head. You should not be trying to figure out and do Facebook ads yourself, okay? You need somebody else to do that for you. And that's a great way to build a tenant buyers list. This is huge, by the way. You can go do bandit signs and Craigslist ads. That's awesome. That works really, really well. But Facebook ads are super cheap, and you can get a company to do that. And we also can do it ourselves as well. One of the things that we're doing is working with realtors now who are doing a finding buyers first strategy, finding the tenant buyers first as a realtor, then going out and finding a house for them. It's an awesome, amazing strategy. And we have the team that can build the Facebook ads for you and your market. And I'm super excited about this. This is an awesome opportunity, right? So you need to have the right tools and systems in place, right? You need to separate the marketing and the automation and the delegation. Get someone to do the marketing done for you in spite of you. Have systems where that stuff just happens automatically. And whatever you can't automate and put systems in place, you delegate it out to a virtual assistant or somebody who can do that for you, okay? So here's the bottom line. If you're looking to do your first lease option deal as quickly as possible, we want to help you, okay? We're looking to do more deals right now in new markets. We're looking for apprentices. We're looking to grow and expand. This is the perfect time right now. It's a perfect market conditions to do lease options. Very little competition. There's a huge need in the marketplace. And we are being more focused than ever in 2017. We are just focusing on lease option deals. Now, this isn't exactly about coaching or mentoring, but we are going to help you do your first lease option deal in the fastest way possible. So we have a really, really simple training program where we give accountability. We do weekly group coaching calls. We have a private Facebook group. You can ask us questions anytime. And so we have kind of two different levels. We'll talk with you about it on the phone if you're interested. If you just want the coaching and the help and the accountability, we can do that. We can help you. If you want some done for you stuff as well, that's where we can come in and also help you. We'll set up your systems, do your marketing for you so you don't have to worry about it. We're looking for some boots on the ground people, right? This isn't cheap. You need to have capital to invest in marketing. Not a whole lot, but you do need to have some money to invest in marketing, right? And typically on our coaching, you're going to get your money back within the first 1 or 2, maybe 3 deals. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to be licensed to do that, but it does help. Our goal is simple: to get you to your first lease option deal in 90 days or less. So I'm going to talk about what we do, what you will do, talk about the opportunity here a little bit. What we will do, we're going to set up all your systems for you. We'll set up Podio and FreedomSoft. We'll set up your phone and voicemails. We'll set up your buyer and seller websites, and we'll even do your Facebook ads if that's what we're going to do in your market, okay? We'll research the market. We'll help you find the best zip codes to target. We're going to do all the seller marketing. We'll get the list for you. We'll send the letters and postcards. Our VAs will even send the proposals and the credibility kits. We'll even do, I forgot to mention this, property detail reports and comps. We can run that. And again, we'll run the Facebook ads campaigns, right? We'll provide the virtual assistants. We'll either give you a virtual assistant that you can pay, or we'll have our VAs in place that can update your CRM for you with leads. We can do research on the properties, send offers, send the credibility kits, send the follow-up on all your leads once a month. That's really important, right? We'll also give you advice. We'll partner with you on deals. We'll give you our full Rolodex of resources. We have a nationwide mortgage broker. We have credit repair companies in place. We have a company that reviews tenant buyer applications. We have an attorney that handles the contracts, escrow companies that does this all over the nation to handle the money, to check on the title of the property to make sure it's clear, et cetera. Okay? Now, also, if you're part of the coaching program, we'll talk about this on the phone. But if you need to, you can come out to St. Louis and hang out with me for a day. We do weekly calls, and you can ask me and my business partner, Gavin, questions anytime on Voxer. Bottom line, we're going to coach you and hold your hand through the entire process, okay? We'll partner with you on deals. We have a vested interest in your success. So this isn't just coaching, although that is available if that's what you need right now. But we're looking to grow and expand and do more deals. We're looking for people to partner with on deals. And a lot of people get stuck because they feel like they have to get all this stuff set up and built and in place, or they get hung up with all of the details. And that's what we're trying to take away. But this is what you will do. You're going to be our boots on the ground. You do have to invest a setup fee and pay for the marketing, obviously. We consider this like an "Are you serious?" deposit, right? You'll have to pay a reasonable fee up front to show us that you're serious and to compensate us for doing all the work and setting it up for you. The reason for this, again, is just to make sure that you're serious and we're not going to be wasting our time after you maybe disappear, or if you did, right? But so bottom line, if you're broke, then don't apply. If you don't have any money, this isn't going to work. You got to be in a position where you can invest at least $500 to $1,000 a month in marketing. That's just that's how we do it. You got to be able to return voicemails. You need to be willing to talk to sellers. So good communication skills are important. And it's okay if you haven't done that before. We'll help you with that. You need to be able to make the offers to the sellers, market the homes once the property are under contract. We'll help you find the signs, but you'll need to get somebody to place the signs, or you can do them yourself. You'll need to do the Craigslist ads, take the calls, show the home, find a leasing agent, the boots on the ground type of stuff that somebody has to do local in your market. And then you need to report in your numbers every week. This is a very important for the accountability part of it. Now, if you're a realtor and you want to talk with us about the Home Finder program and us implementing that for you, again, we'll build the websites, run the Facebook ads. You're going to do the signs, Craigslist ads. You'll take calls from tenant buyers, meet them in your office. And if you are an agent, you need to have a broker that you work under that lets you keep 90 to 100% of your commissions. That's really important if we're going to split the deals, okay? So this is a limited opportunity, all right? We are looking only for a few select markets. We're not going gangbusters on this. We're looking for just each market, maybe only have one investor in each one, maybe two if it's a big market. So this is first come, first serve. You got to be willing and able to devote at least 2 to 4 hours a day to the real estate business. Communication skills are important. This is a long-term outlook. We're looking for somebody that we can partner with on a long-term for deals, although you can quit anytime you want. We're not going to be giving you a contract that says you have to do deals with us forever. But it's, we are looking for people that are serious about this. Massive action takers. You can't be someone that needs extreme hand-holding, right? And needs everything explained in excruciating detail. You need to be massive action takers, right? We'll help you along the way. But if you need extreme hand-holding, that's probably just not going to work out for us. And you got to have capital to invest in your business. Does that make sense? This is a limited opportunity. You need to hurry up and take advantage of this. And to apply, to see if you qualify, let's get on the phone, let's talk. Just go to coachjoe.net, okay? coachjoe.net. Let's get on the phone and talk to see if this would be a good thing for you or not. Cool? This has been fun, guys. I appreciate you all. And let us know if you have any questions. Go to coachjoe.net, coachjoe.net. All right? We'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.